We've made you return on the first one because our goal is to make sure you get that return on everything you buy from us. Video management systems, we need video management to pull all this together, archive management, maps, camera management, permissions. You've seen it all before from many people, and we have a very, very strong and capable package here, and it integrates directly with both all our DVIP NetView connected technology, but does also provide the facilities to bridge to existing legacy systems. So you can leverage all of your assets effectively as you move forwards. Another important feature in there is the emergency messaging initiative. We'll come on to emergency messaging more, but the key about that is to be able to say, right, for any given instance, based on exactly where the instance is, we can tell people wherever they are and whatever style of location, either in a static location or in a mobile location. Mobile location? You know what I mean. I think the mobile assets, they're in a vehicle, something of that nature, and will they get the right, guidance and direction? To do that, we need to be able to specify where that instance is, and we can do that through our VMS. Archive management, as I said before, if you start collecting from thousands of buses on thousands of different routes, you better have a decent archive management solution to track it all down, because successful systems become big successful systems, and something that might have been good enough for the first 50, 100 units or connections might be a problem when you get to 1,000. So we provide all of this within our total video management solutions, and those may well have to interact with the rest of the IT infrastructure within the organisation as an enterprise class solution. So we provide things like the SNMP for health monitoring, an environment that the IT manager will be very comfortable with. We also have a number of bespoke health monitoring schemes as well, especially where we get to mobile assets, where things like SNMP aren't necessarily as appropriate, because it's much more real time. And then we also get into things like user and privilege accessing and management, and we're adopting LDAP on the basis that it's an open format, but is also the basis of Windows Active Directory. So again, very much the things that your enterprise class user is going to be very comfortable with, will be familiar with, and will be able to leverage easily within their existing resources to making sure they continue to get the most out of the assets. Return on investment isn't just about your initial costs, it's your ongoing costs of ownership. And one of the most forgotten sometimes in the early stages costs of ownership is your ongoing cost of training and support of staff. It's all very well that the person gets a quick guide, or even a long tutorial at the start as to how to use a given piece of equipment. Staff change, different people at different days. That cost of training has to be continuous and effective. Without keeping your staff trained, you will get instances like the Jamie Bulger, where the equivalent of the tape being left in for 18 months, something like that could happen again. So how can we improve that training cost for you? Well, the first thing is, the needs may well include a very broad spectrum. It may be a simple viewing console in a guard post here. There may be a large video wall somewhere else in the organisation. There may be an individual recorder in an outlying branch of the organisation. Are you going to have 3 or 4 completely different control and operational paradigms on each of those? No. We believe you should have a single control and operation paradigm, so whichever one you use, even if you've never seen that particular piece of kit before, from the second keystroke you go, I know what I'm doing with this, I can do this. Yep, this is just like the one in head office, it's just like the one I've got on my mobile viewer. It's just like the one that the guards use at the gatehouse at the factory. No problem at all, because then your resources for training can be optimised to just be that training on that one capability. Because all your personnel are using the same thing, there's also the benefit that cross knowledge can be shared. If it's the fact that there's something that is bespoke to one function and it works completely differently to everything else, and they go, oh God, I've forgotten how to so-and-so. John, how the hell do I do so-and-so? They go, oh no, don't know, never use that one. Ooh, you have to ask someone else. If everyone's using the same units and the same operating paradigms, they can help each other out. These are vital reductions in cost of ownership, and if you can reduce the cost of ownership, that just turns into extra return, maximise the return on investment. So what are the things that we've done? We've had to put in what we feel are some very nice extensions to the interface, but primarily we based it around a coloured soft key infrastructure. You'll notice a lot of our marketing material now has this 5-colour key structure. Maybe you'll have used televisions now, and certainly navigated teletext pages whereby each step in the buttons, a different label comes up on the soft buttons and it follows you on to the next step. One of the key operating paradigms within the equipment. It does mean that you can either control the units using a mouse on screen, you can control it using a PC keyboard, you can control it using the full keyboard, or even a little handheld infrared controller. They've all got a means of creating those 5-colour buttons. So the vast majority of the functionality is driven through that. But then when we get onto it, we then have a look at things like timelines. How many of you sat there saying, okay, an asset disappeared, or for that matter, a threat appeared, and in a given location we need to quickly find out when. The worst nightmare, you come to go home and your car's gone from the car park and you're not in it. Where's your bloody car gone? So you go to your CCTV system and you start just having to go into some menu that you've got to punch times and dates in, and you're punching in different notes not there, and you end up stabbing backwards and forwards until you try and find the right location. There's a technique called binary search, or the Newton search. I think it was actually the unrelated Isaac that, well, as far as I know anyway, that came up with the search methodology of go halfway each time to do that search, and it is a binary power of two factor. 8 searches will give you to within 1/256 of whatever it is that the time scale that you're looking through. 16 search will give you get to 165,000. It's all the same escalating binary numbers that we see in everyday life and many other things. How do we achieve that? Instead of having a numeric entry methodology for putting time and date in, you click on the soft button which brings up the go-to, and we have a timeline. And at any given point, the centre is now. The left-hand end is a given time in one direction, the right-hand end is a given time in the other direction. And if you're using some form of device like a mouse or a pointer on a handheld, everything in between is in between. If you want to widen the time span, you click on the outer end, or click on the push the blue button. If you want to go in to a tighter time span, click on the red button, or click on the red icon in the middle. That finding what happens, set the span out to be about the time span, the day that you're looking across. Let's start off there. Go halfway. It's still there. Okay, go half again. It's still there. Go half again. Right, it's getting a bit fine now. Click to zoom in. Very, very quickly you can perform that binary search. You can do that, that search, and very, very quickly home into the thing that you want. This is assuming, of course, that you haven't already used something like analytics or VMD or whatever, or to already give it to you as an event. But there are many occasions we have to go and review video. The reason why we keep all the video is there's occasions we've got to go and find something we don't know when it happened. So providing a good, easy to use, intuitive search method on that timeline, we feel is very important. People have done scrub bars and things in the past. Where you've got the time and you can move up and down it, but that really can only be used with a mouse style interface, because you need to be able to position on the bar. The beauty of this is you can use it with the mouse and get capability with the mouse, but even with just the zoom in, zoom out, and the coloured buttons, so with nothing more than the handheld infrared controller, you can still perform that very fast and efficient search. Point and go.